Hey, what's up? It's your favorite reject artist, aka Lord, aka Young Anakin, aka the light skinned baby boy, aka the Martin Lawrence of this hip hop shit, aka the ghetto Mr. Rogers, and I'm proud to present my new show, Reject to Reject. It's a webisode series that talks about the story of the underdog, and on this season, I'll be interviewing some of my favorite people I consider as modern day superheroes. We'll get to talk about what it means to be a reject dreamer, what it means to overcome adversity, mental health awareness, and a bunch of other stuff. You learn exactly why I chief too much, why sometimes I have short-term memory loss and I forget the questions and I gotta look down at my phone, plus a bunch of other stuff. But those are the things that make me a reject. To find out more, tune in. Reject, yeah. Hey, it's your favorite reject, Arts, and I'm here on today's episode of Reject to Reject with one of my favorite rejects. Sitting on the right side of me, canoeing the joint over here. Introduce yourself, state your name, state your claim, and pass that shit.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Logic Thompson, and I do a lot. I'm a visual artist. I do advertising. I work with branding. That's my thing. And I enjoy it.
Definitely one of my favorite visual artists in the game right now. That's why I needed to have you on. One of the first episodes of Reject to Reject. This is, a show about spirits and people who I feel like champion that reject mentality and that reject spirit. That vibe.
Yeah.
We're all on different pursuits and different paths in our lives, but there's certain things that tie us together and, really bring us together.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like ever since I met you, you had that as a person. So I wanted you here on the show today. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. First one is, what is the definition of a reject to you?
Definition of a reject.
And if I can see that later. Yes.
Definition of a reject is, you're not accepted. You're not like the rest of them. You're not like the ones that they ship out in bulk. They're not putting you in the aisle for people to see. You get thrown to the back and you get to decide whether you stay there or whether you come out, on your own accord.
That's a fact. You got to work your way to the front.
Yeah.
Of the line.
Because ain't nobody going to place you there, Because they don't like how you look. They don't like how you are. You don't fit the scene that they're trying to put together,
I felt a lot of those feelings on my upbringing as a child and just a human on this earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like in those shadows that you live in, you actually find more depth.
Yeah.
On who you are and what life is.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, darkness is like a huge thing. My art brand is called Are You Dying? And yeah, we fuck with darkness a lot. Like in the dark, you kind of have to use your other senses. You can't see.
Yeah.
So you got to start paying attention to different things and looking at how things really are. Not necessarily the way that you see them, but in the other ways that they exist.
And that's one of the things that I would say, connected me to your story early on, because he does have this comic book called Are You Dying, where, it breaks up the different parts of a human and the things that help them be the person they are, the things that hold them back. It deals with a lot of real world activity, problems that you deal with on the daily with your characters in your comic book. And it really, it allows, at least for me being a consumer of the art, it allows me to feel like somebody understands me. And I feel like that is the best medicine or therapy for somebody who's indulging in like anything, whether it be in my field, in music, whether it be in art, whether it be in film. If somebody could feel like they can connect to it, you know what I'm saying, then you have them by the heart. And I think the heartfelt shit is the most potent. Right. So, thank you for being the artist you are.
Thanks for fucking with it.
And that's why we cook amazing shit.
Right.
Go get that Mixie and Vogue comic book if you haven't. You've been sleeping or you've been under a rock. Okay, so I would say this. With that being said, how do you differ from the masses, and what made you early on when we met feel like you was connected to Reject Dreams? Because in my time of doing music, this was something that came with music and how I felt as a person. Then eventually I started looking around myself and being like, yo, it's bigger than this music shit.
Right.
I got mad people rolling with me right now.
Right.
You know, we got a big ass family. You know what I'm saying? And I felt obligated to these people's, being in these people's lives, love, you know, even growing with one another.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel really responsible for, you know, lives other than my own. And music might have been the introduction to that. But the truth of it is, connection was like, you know what I'm saying? And like spirituality is what brought all of us even in the room today. You know what I'm saying? It goes beyond the arts side.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So yeah, what differs you, would you say?
I think, like, going back to that darkness, that dark side, like, my brand is called Are You Dying? You know, I ain't ask, are you living? Like, that's easy. You know, everybody got answers for that. Everybody faking it. You know, are you dying? Yeah, you can't escape that part. You really got to start looking at yourself with that one. You know, like, and where I was at, I was just sad. I always felt like I was sadder than everybody else. And I would look around and see people, like, live life, and it felt different to me. You know, it felt strange. Like, it felt like I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. Like, even from, like, a young age. Like, where I just felt like, yo, the kids played a different way than I did. Because there were things that they didn't notice that I noticed. And, yo, it used to make shit heavy for me, like, real easy. You know, like, I would befriend somebody, but I would really be their friend when a lot of kids didn't even know what friendship was. You know? And I felt like, there's a loneliness in that. There's a loneliness in kind of being a watcher of people.
And would you say that's the reason why you identify with what being a reject was?
Yeah, but it was
that feeling of that heaviness.
It's a matter of acceptance for me, where I already feel different, so I have to look for the similarities with people so that I can interact with them. Because I want to interact and I want to live and I want to, like, be with the rest, but feeling like a reject, feeling like you are different or that you don't fit the necessary response that everybody else is doing, you kind of start questioning everything you do. You know, you kind of live in this different space where you're unsure of yourself, and suddenly your ideas don't seem valid. You know, like even just a lot of the stuff that you think about on a regular basis, you wonder if other people are thinking about it, and it's just a lonely place to be. You know, you kind of in that dark, but you're right. From that dark, you learn so much. Like, not for nothing, like, yeah, you're a watcher of people. You get to see how people work. So then you get to start to apply that before you meet the people, you know. Where if you know the rules behind the curtain, you know, you could do the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I relate a lot of life sometimes to the Truman Show.
Word.
Because people could be living in a reality that they think is a reality, but it's really a facade.
Word.
So you have to be, like, constantly, like, real with yourself and your situation and where you are in life and the goals you want to set and different things like that. What would you say if you relate, like, getting prepared and doing a show? What would you say is the gift that you want to share with the world? The thing that, they'll remember you for?
Perspective. It's not always.
I feel that.
It's not always the thing you feeling in the moment. It's not always the thing that you're looking at right there. It's what it is before you. It's what it is when you're there. But it's also what it's going to be after you. There's a part that you have to do with it, but there's a million others that have nothing to do with you. And I feel like if we really start looking at each other like that, and looking at the world like that, and looking at your choices like that, you really can fucking do anything.
That's a fact.
Because you don't operate under the same obstacles. Because what if they're not obstacles for you anymore?
Yeah.
Find the route where it's not an obstacle.
Where you create solutions.
Yeah.
Now, I think lately I've been thinking a lot about that, because I feel like people who don't find solutions are people who don't want to be positive.
Yeah.
You know, the people who make the choice to be like, yo, I woke up today and I had a shitty day and I don't want to be positive. So nothing's going to go right. Not even this fucking breakfast that this dude in the diner just cooked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and yeah, mind state is really important, you know. If you start off negative, then that's where the rest of the flow is going to go. You know, but at the same time, like I said, that darkness is important.
Definitely.
You know? It pushes you to change.
I know you beyond, obviously, this interview or this segment. This could go from fucking an hour of talking. Right?
OD.
But I know how much you deal personally with darkness. You know, one of my projects early on was called Dark Matter, so I think we relate in that aspect. We both have dealt with that. How do you maintain sanity through in those dark moments? You know, when you face adversity.
Sometimes you don't. Like, sometimes it hits you hard. I feel like we try really hard to be brave every single time, so that when something actually hits us and like knocks us the fuck out, we get real, like almost like embarrassed, and we start beating ourselves up because we got beat up. That's not it. You get beat up and you get up. So sometimes I do listen to that voice. Sometimes I let that madness happen, but it's just about doing the goal in the first place. There's a reason I'm mad. There's a reason I'm upset. There's a reason I'm losing it. I need to figure that out while I still try to get what it is I'm trying to get. So sometimes it's happening, but you just gotta pay attention. Look at it and see it for what it is.
Nah, that's real. One of my OGs told me. He said one day I was going through a really overwhelming week, you know, and he told me, he was like, "Yo, bro, life is gonna keep throwing punches. Just keep rolling with them.
Facts.
It's never gonna stop. Like, you signed up to be a boxer, bro.
Yo.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's honestly, that's why Rocky is like everybody's like favorite fucking movie.
Rocky is
like that, like
top classics.
When Rocky hit America, everybody thought they was this dude
because they could run up those stairs. Even the ones with asthma, just keep running.
But that's the wild. But the wild part about it is that you could run up those stairs and you could still lose.
But Eye of the Tiger was playing.
Right, you know what I mean? Yeah, you was in it. You tried, and that effort regardless of the obstacle, that's what people like about Rocky.
Yeah.
That's what people like about themselves, but people forget that we can do that shit every day.
Yeah, you know, people sometimes live in fear, I would say, or have the fear of flying. Like, they have the ability to fly, but they just don't want to jump and actually test it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, definitely, you know, blessed to have you here.
Thanks, yo.
You know, Reject to Reject. I feel like this is going to be, to be honest with you, like, originally when we even thought of this segment, I was like, I don't want this to be, like, too gimmicky and shit like that. But I feel like conversation is needed, and there's too many times that we smoke joints and just be on some regular artsy creative shit for creation. But we don't record our actual conversations.
Yeah.
And I think conversations in general translate to confirmations in life. You know, we were talking about the idea of an animated film a little while ago. What's stopping us from actually doing that? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if you had to leave one message right now, if you wanted to leave your stamp, what would you have to say to all rejects around the world? You know what I'm saying?
To all rejects around the world, two things. Number one, respect yourself. Respect yourself. You're not crazy. You might be different, but you're not crazy. Follow it. And number two, finish the shit you start. I don't care if it's a little project, medium project, big project. All of those things, just finish them. But do them as you do them. Don't get into the next one before the first one's done. Finish that shit. Look at it. Look at what's good about it and love it. And what's bad about it, improve it. And just keep moving, y'all.
Yep. I support that message. It's Reject Dreams going into 2020, but we're already in 2020. So catch up.
Already see 2020.
Yes. Love to everybody tuning in. Love to the Reject, the brother, Logic Thompson. Over and out. Peace. What's up? It's Arts, and today we're on Reject to Reject, where I introduce the world to somebody who I feel like embodies the reject mentality and spirit. It's a segment where we tell the story of underdogs everywhere, no matter where you're from. And today I have a special guest. If you want to do the honors, state your name and your claim.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man CR908. I'm a recording artist representing Jump Out the Frame. What's good with y'all?
So, CR, tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them where you're from. Tell them, you know, what you exactly do. You know, let the people know.
All right, well, I was born in Jersey, all right, the big sewer, right, because it smells like a sewer, especially where I'm at. But I was born in Elizabeth. I was raised in Roselle. I started my label when I was in college, went to Jersey City University. And when I was in college, I started this company. It was just me. I had an idea. I was sitting on my couch smoking weed with one of my best friends. And I was like, yo, fuck this getting a job shit, bro. Like, I really love music. Like, we got to figure something out. Next thing you know, I started this label. I ended up signing a couple artists that I work with. They're younger than me, so I'm mentoring them. I curate events in my hometown. Like, I got a good reputation because people know that I support real music. If you're a dope artist, you're a great talent, like, I'm gonna genuinely support you. I'm gonna come out to your shows. I'm gonna repost without you asking me to do that because I'm a fan.
I like you already, man.
But that's who I am. It's like if you're good, right? I'm gonna like your music. But if you're not, you'll never hear from me.
So he has a bougie side to him too.
I mean, yeah, I'm selective, man. I love music. I hold it to a high standard, yo.
Well, let's be best friends now. Take a hit of this.
Oh yes.
And I'll start with some questions.
Please.
Shouts to our sponsors, Purple Punch and Sour Diesel, a little on there. The way I see people as rejects, you know, I feel like there's a superhero piece of strain or DNA that exists within all of us. You know, and to be a reject is to overcome odds and adversity. And, you know, from my research, you know, checking you out, I feel like you embody that, so I wanted to have you on the show.
And that means a lot, you know what I'm saying, that to have that type of recognition, because I've definitely been through a lot on this journey of being an artist, even more than just music, dealing with two parents that are, like, chronically depressed and being an only child. Wow. You know what I mean? Making it out of homelessness, like, going in my senior year of high school, putting myself through college. Like, I could go on about all the things that I've been through, but ultimately, like, it brought me to a place where I'm grateful for everything I've been through because it gave me character, it gave me resilience, and it gave me so much more knowledge that I could spread with everybody around me. I feel like the three main things I'm here for is to spread joy, enlightenment, and motivate others. Like, that's just what I do every day through my music, through my podcast. Anything that I put out, I wanted to, you know, touch people and make them feel like, you know, I could overcome anything because he got through hella shit. Being a reject, my definition is that you're not conventional, right? You don't blend in with the crowd. You automatically stand out, but you're not trying to stand out because there's people who are different and there's people who are trying to be different, right? If you're different, you're not trying. You're just being yourself. And I feel like that's what I even originally wanted my company to always stand for, is to, you know, don't just stand out, jump out the frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, be different, embrace your individuality. Because I think the most beautiful people in the world are the people with flaws, but they know how to make their flaws fly. All right, so aesthetically, I got a gap, right? And I used to feel insecure about my gap. I used to feel like I need to get braces. I'm never gonna get girls. And then there's people like that will say I have a beautiful smile, and I was just like, what the fuck you looking at? And then, you know what I'm saying? So then I had to learn how to love my smile and realize, and then I meet other fly people with gaps. And then I'm just like, I start seeing myself in them. And then it's just like, you know, it's just like, it made me appreciate myself more, right? The gap was a big problem for me. So now I have confidence in it. So I just had to put that as the first thing that makes me different. But definitely, another thing that makes me different personality-wise, I really just don't follow people. I really just do my own thing. But I'm not necessarily trying to exclude anybody because if they're with it, then I'm with it too. And we're just on the same wave. Like, I feel like finding genuine people who will really support what you're trying to do, I feel like that's rare. So I want to be a rarity. When people meet me, I want them, when they talk about me, I want to be like, yo, I met this nigga CR. He was funny. He was real. And he just felt like I knew him my whole life. I want people to feel like that when they meet me because I just feel like that's rare. You don't have that these days. Yeah. It's more high by these days. Agree with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, people are so afraid to be personal.
Yes.
And actually even show who they truly are. It's like when you first walk into a party and you got the group of people that's standing on the wall not dancing or not smiling. You know, I feel like the world and everyday life is sort of like that. And the people you connect with are the people that decide to step out and dance. You know?
They decide to step out and be animated and to actually, you know, not be a robot.
Big facts. I have a project called Kill the Robot. So
that's dope.
We're on the same frequency right now.
I definitely feel that.
So, do you resonate and feel like a reject in some way with your story?
Yes, like when I was in...
What makes you feel that way overall? Like
overall, because I like literally my entire life, I've always been like awkward in a way where it was just like I just like it was like my awkwardness attracted some people, but for some other people it was just like, all right, we're not fucking with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like in kindergarten I had a big ass head. Well, I still got a big ass head. They used to call me an alien and shit. So like I was just like, okay, I'm an alien, whatever. But then I started having friends that were like weird too. So that's when I started falling in love with that whole concept of people who are different. Because I always relate to the weirdo. I always relate to the person with the dark sense of humor. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just relate to those people. I would want to leave, honestly, just the concept of that the imagination is like the connection to an infinite intelligence. You can create anything if you can think it. And that's what I want people to realize, that instead of spending so much time trying to find yourself, focus on creating yourself.
I fuck with that. I really do. One of my mentors always said he compares being a person to being a sculpture, and you know, chiseling down the parts that you need to refine about yourself, always being the best version of yourself. So you know, as you get older, be the best 28-year-old you could be, 29-year-old, 30-year-old. Just continue to search for, you know, productivity, progression in life. It's like you're very enlightened through your struggle, you know, and you embrace it.
Yes.
You know, you lived in it. You know what I'm saying? You dealt with all the things that come with it. I also see that you have your own podcast about mental health.
Yes.
Right? And I know that people who generally feel rejected deal with that on a regular basis. You know, so how do you maintain sanity? Like, I'll give you an example. I'm a very, you know, and I'll let other people speak for me, but I believe in hard work, let's just say. I believe hard work and hustle outweighs even talent.
I agree 100%.
You know what I'm saying? As I pursued my music career and pursue all the things I'm involved in, and I'm sure you feel this way too, sometimes I'm human.
Yeah.
So even though I'm a workhorse, I feel there's moments where I feel overwhelmed.
Yes.
Or I feel like I'm even responsible for even other people's lives in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Or at least contributing to their lives. And I find, like, really finding my sanity and going back to the roots of the things I love. So, for example, while we were releasing a project over the summer, we released a dual EP. 2 projects I really worked on for like probably a year, I would say. Just a collection of songs. We were doing a lot of traveling. We went to Montreal. We did shows. We came back, and I felt like overworked, but that's okay because I'm alright with. I signed up for that, but I felt overwhelmed, and I said, "Yo, what can be the thing that I break away from, like with music, that I could break away from to help me stay clear-headed?" And I started going back to the park and playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? I started watching ESPN, catching up on my sports center a little bit more. And those are the things that, you know, watch the anime or two. Those are the things that helped me get through that motion, because if not, I would have felt like a robot for work that I'm doing that I love in the first place.
Yes, and you don't ever want to get to that place, because you start resenting your craft.
Exactly.
And you don't want to do that. You want to take your breaks like you're doing. I think that's so healthy.
Yeah. So how do you maintain sanity in the madness?
Well, all right, I want to start by saying, like, I definitely relate to, like, feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes I do it to myself, because I feel like if I'm not working every day, every moment on trying to make it, then I'm not going to get there, even though that's not the reality. I tell myself that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yes, you got to work hard every day, you know, to get there, but at the same time, you need rest. You need sleep. You got to recharge. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you got to find a way to have that balance. So for me, I chose to, like, you know, just like one day I'll just turn off my phone or put on Do Not Disturb.
Turn off the phone. Wow.
No. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not turned off my phone. Like, actually powered it down. No, Do Not Disturb yet. But I want to get there. That's like a goal. I really said that too. Like, one day, like on a Sunday, I want to turn my phone off for the whole day. And I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. We're gonna see, and we're just gonna live that truth. But yeah. So like, one thing I do is just sit at home and watch hella fucking movies. I definitely smoke weed. You know, I indulge, because it's like, I kind of struggle with it too, because I feel guilty sometimes, because I get, like, I'm my worst enemy. Sometimes I'm like, shouldn't be smoking this weed. Like, what are you doing on this couch watching television?
Being judgmental of yourself.
You should be watching a documentary.
I feel like that's such a gift and a curse. Being able to be judgmental on self.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that makes you greater.
It does.
You know, one moment.
It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, LeBron was probably saying like, "Yo, bro, I should be shooting more jump shots."
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think that can be a gift and a curse, and you have to, really realize, how to maintain that balance in order to maintain sanity.
Yes.
With that being said, what's the one thing that you would want to share with the world? What's the one message? Look into that camera. Let the world know what you would share with the world.
I would tell them, look, whatever it is that you're trying to do, just tell yourself that is definitely possible if you just align yourself with that destination and don't worry about the route, right? Because you're always going to have to take a different way to get there. But as long as the destination stays the same, as long as you have that same goal, that long-term goal in mind, everything else will align itself. The universe provides. I'm telling you, look where I'm at. I'm telling you, if I could take everything that I'm looking at and put it into a fucking documentary, people would truly understand the law of attraction. It's just the realest shit. I'm here because of the law of attraction.
Who would you have in that movie?
In that movie?
Who would play you?
Who would play me?
Yeah.
Damn. I want to. Damn. Not based because we don't look the same, but I would just say Michael B. Jordan.
and there you got it. From reject to reject. Thank you for being on the
Thanks
show.
For having me,
man, it's
for
love.
real.
CR. I really appreciate your energy and your perspective on things.
Thanks, man.
You'll see him in his new movie starring Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, and what's the name of this movie?
The Law of Attraction. I don't know, man.
Starring Michael B.
Jordan.
Reject. What's up? It's your favorite Reject Arts, and I'm here today on a new episode of Reject to Reject. And I got one of my other favorite people in the world, person who be on the ones and twos with me at a lot of these shows in the past couple years. State your name, state your claim. I want you to introduce yourself.
Bobby Banger, you already know. Part of Reject Dreams.
Yeah, insert drop here, Ty.
Yeah, bomb noise right now, dropping on him.
Yeah. So tell the world.
That's my job.
Tell the world what you do, Bobby. Tell them who you are. State your claim.
All right. So I'm Bobby Banger, DJ producer. Producer first, DJ second, but right now I'm DJing for Arts. This man right here.
That's you. Shouts to you.
Part of Reject Dreams, you know what I'm saying?
We got some joints together though too. We got some joints.
Yeah. Coming soon. Soon come.
Fact.
So
you're one of the reason why I think you're one of my favorite people in the world, right? Is because the way how we met, you're like a living proof and story that there's people outside of myself that is really living this reject shit. You know what I'm saying? When I met you, I was on that energy. You're like, yo, we in Art Basel. Yo, I got 3 shows. Yo, you want to pull up to this show with me and DJ the set? You was like, hell yeah.
Right.
You was like, I'm with it. Before you even asked, I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah. To me, somebody that's that down, right? It even allows me assurance because when I be going into some of these meetings with these corporate people and these record label people, I'll be like, there ain't shit you could tell me. You know who the fuck Bobby Banger is? You are the proof that this shit is real. And people like you. So that's why I wanted to have you on Reject to Reject. You know what I'm saying?
Blessed to be here.
Facts. What is the definition to reject to you? Saying our story and how we kind of connected. What does reject mean to you, and why did it bring you here? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I am a reject first and foremost. I definitely I'm one of those people that just an outcast. I've always been an outcast. A reject to me is, I consider myself a reject, just being somebody, an immigrant to this country, you know what I'm saying? I'm adopted. Um, you know, things that I have mental health problems. I battle bipolar disorder every single day of my life. Um,
Damn, that's real.
you know, so I think, you know, it's just those things that make me a reject. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
I agree.
there's people out there that probably relate to me, so they'd be a reject too.
Nah, I think being open, one, I give you kudos, anybody who speaks their truth and tells their story, but being open to even talk about that and express that, I think that makes you a champion already because there's people out there that haven't even gained their voice yet. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Right.
it's people like us that other people connect to and be like, you know what, even though that these people are dealing with that shit too, but they just staying positive and they trying to be productive, and you're a great example of that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I love to have you on this team and just rocking with me in
Thank you.
general because I know in life anyway, every day is a fucking battle. No matter what you're dealing with, you battling some shit.
Word,
You know what I'm
word,
saying?
for
Whether it
sure.
be the forces of evil, whether it be the robots, whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying? You battling some shit. So I don't want somebody who's never been in a fight. I want somebody who's been through some shit. You know
Word.
what I'm
I try to
saying?
put myself out there every day, you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely go through, you know, social anxiety a lot, along with the bipolar. But yeah, so I try to push my limitations. You know, I'm kind of nervous right now, but you know, I'm happy to be here and so blessed, like every
I'm
single day.
glad this is a
Blessed to
good
be on this
stepping
team, you
stone.
know.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I love it. What I know, I have the characteristics and traits that I love about you. But what is your gift that you would want to share with the world first and foremost? Like the one thing that you want to make sure sticks with people.
Um, I would say just being yourself, you know. Um, especially for me, being adopted, identity was a big thing. So um, trying to, you know, find who you really are and then be that, you know, and trying not to be brainwashed by other things around you. So I would say that.
That's what's up. How do you dealing with some of the things you go through? You know, me and you talk about this on a regular when we talk sometimes, and I think part of like going through struggle and shit like that is also is the things that are happening, but it's you being down on yourself even more so than what the reality of the situation is. You know what I'm saying? And I know me and you talk about like getting past those things and not letting those things leak out into your personal performance in life because I think you have a lot of, potential and you are great already and you have potential to even be more greater. You know what I'm saying? What is the one thing that helps you maintain the sanity and the method to the madness? You know what I'm saying?
Trying to just focus on what I'm doing, you know, at all costs. Like just trying to put like, you know, those blinders on the horse. Just trying to have that, and just trying to really tunnel vision on what I want, like goals and things like that. Just trying to keep my eye on that and keep it
You
moving.
said it, the blinders on the horse,
So
man.
yeah, because you know,
Blinders on the horse, that's real. I watched a show called Peaky Blinders where he compared a character in the show, the main character, compared the character in the show to a horse with the blinders. They said he had the most potential. There was this horse on the field that had the most potential to win every race, but he was so nervous about what was going on around him, it would affect his performance.
yeah.
And the minute they put blinders on the horse, he would win every single time because he blocked out everything that was on the sides of him.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And in life, I think you need to do that sometimes in order to get to that next place. You know, another thing I would say is what's like one message that you would say, for rejects around the world, a statement that you would want to leave them with.
Just yeah, keep living. You know what I'm saying? There's always something to live for. I've been in those situations of like deep depression, um, that kind of thing, and you know, it's you just gotta realize the things about you that make you shine. You know, keep it going, and know that there is hope out there.
Yeah.
You know.
This is something that I didn't ask the previous guests on the show, but I feel like it was something I was gonna cut out of my questions. But I feel like just the natural thing in me is to it's always make sure everything has a little fingerprint of something unique. So I don't want this shit to be too scheduled either. Um, I feel like this reject shit is like some X-Men shit. I feel like you are one of the characters in that universe, right? What superhero would you be? What powers? You know, give me the breakdown of who you would be. You can name a superhero that exists already, or you could create some shit.
Any superhero?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to make up a superhero, man. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I never really thought about that.
Personally, I have two. Me personally.
Yeah, who?
If you need time to think about it.
Nah, who?
I have two. One is Wolverine, because like he ain't never dying. Like he's just gonna keep coming back, and he might lose his memory sometimes, but he gets a second chance at life. The motherfucker cures. Sabretooth could have just clawed the shit out of him and threw him through the middle of the woods, and he just comes back. And I feel like like he's just dope and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he could cure himself, or Deadpool. Deadpool's always been my favorite too. You know what I'm saying? Like boom, you can shoot at me, but I'm gonna come back reincarnated after you buck at me, and we just gonna do this whole shit all over again. Or we're gonna become friends. So we get more opportunities to create different storylines of your life. And that's what I love about Wolverine. I always wanted to fly too, so give me some like wings for Wolverine, and he'll be like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, who can I relate to?
You're giving me like this Storm type of vibe.
Storm? I mean,
you want to control weather? Do you hate rain or something? Something I don't know about.
I would say Spider-Man. Like
Spider-Man? Okay. You rep in New York hard. Let's get it. She's like, I'm in these streets of New York. I'm on that motherfucking newspaper. I'm on the pictures. I'm on
I like
buildings.
To scale buildings and hide in the shadows. Maybe Batman.
I feel that.
You know
so Spider-Man, a close Batman second.
Yeah, I would probably say Batman. Batman and Spider-Man.
Batman. Wait, who's first though?
Probably Batman. I can relate a lot more with Bruce. Master Bruce.
For real? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I still,
I feel like you're more Spider-Man because Batman was rich.
Damn.
And we some rejects, so that ain't.
Yeah, I'm definitely not rich.
We working on. We rich and so, but we working on our bank accounts to be even richer. Both Bobby Bang and myself. Okay, so Batman.
Yeah, Batman, definitely Batman.
I do understand from the Gotham side, like, this is, okay, cool. Alright, well, thank you for being on Rejects of Rejects. Shout outs to all of our sponsors. The good weed that I'm high off right now. The Reject Dreams umbrella that just keeps on growing and growing. It's like a big family tree. Thank you for being a part of that family tree.
Thank you.
Thank you for everybody tuning in. Love, peace, Reject out. What up, Rejects of the world? This is your favorite Reject, Arts, and we back for another episode of Rejects of Reject. Today I got my brother, one of the few people in this world that I could say, yo, he's hip hop, and really mean that in all the elements of hip hop. Introduce yourself, state your name, state your claim.
Peace, world. I go by Rugs. I'm trying to think of the handles I have. Originally, I'm a b-boy. I've been breaking since I was a young kid. But for the most part right now, my focus is into DJing and music production. Born and raised in Harlem, New York based. Yeah, I lived there most of my life, but yeah, Harlem.
No doubt. My Uptown brothers. I'm originally from Brooklyn, raised in Queens as I was living in Brooklyn, but they say Brooklyn and Uptown boys don't get along. That's bullshit. You seen it right here. This is my boy.
We breaking myths, y'all.
You want to hit it?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. So, I wanted to have you on the show because I feel like since I've connected with you, like I said, you're one of the people that I would say really embody hip hop. Not from only an aspect of obviously being a creator, but even when I met you, you were like, yo, like I could DJ the event on a controller, but I also got some turntables if you want to do it that way, or like you was willing to you could do both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then your upbringing from b-boying. I was like, yo, this dude is really like, he's not somebody that's involved in this, that's faking the funk. He's actually a student first. Went through a lot of the facets of hip hop. And now is doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of the times nowadays you got people who idolize to be something, and then people who live within the culture and create because it's something that is out of necessity. You know, and that's
Gotcha,
what I would
yeah.
say about you. That's what makes you my reject. But to you, this show in general is about spotlighting the underdogs of the world and telling them, being able to give a platform to help people tell their stories. What is the definition of being a reject to you?
To me, being a reject is standing out on your own terms, doing what makes you comfortable to be you, regardless of who's around or who you may be chilling with at the moment. It's being yourself 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. That's how I look at it.
I like that 366 on a leap year shit because, I'm a believer going 25/8, grinding, hustling.
I think for me, I feel like everybody goes through this some point in your life trying to figure out who you are. I'm 30 now, and I feel like I didn't really realize a lot of who I was or who I am until a couple of months ago. But just being reflective of my life and things that I enjoy doing. So I've had the typical 9 to 5, went to college and all of that, graduated.
Shouts to you. Shouts to all the college graduates.
Word. Shouts out to everybody that got a degree. Shouts out to everybody that don't.
I'm on the other side, the college dropout side, but I respect people.
Yeah, I ain't even mad at that.
Yeah.
But I started to be more reflective of like my childhood and things that I enjoyed doing, and being in hip hop practically most of my life or all of my life. I've always been a creative, and it took me a long time to realize that I've always been a creative as far as like coming up with different ideas and trying different ideas with music, with production, mashups with songs, being that I DJ, and just creative stuff like artistically, like hitting up my boys with different ideas that I would have for like visuals and just trying to hone that I'm supposed to be a creative.
Yeah. So would you say your style is what differs you from masses? Like the way you just do things? I think the first time I met you, you was like rocking a bucket hat or some shit.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that.
In a party full of people that was rocking fitteds and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay, this dude's like really a fucking hip hop dude. Like, he's not trying to like blend in with all these motherfuckers.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was probably rocking some fucking skinny jeans and a polo and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I was rocking a Mishka shirt the first time I met you. Okay, so the next question I would ask you is, what do you feel like is like your gift to the world that you want to share with the world? And Maya Angelou has this quote that I always love that it's how you make people feel at the end of the day that makes them remember you. You know what I'm saying? How the impression you left on them. So what's the thing that you would say is your gift to share to the world?
I believe my gift to share with the world is love. Love through art. Love through expression. So that could be visual art, that could be music, that could be theater. But just showing your dedication, whatever you do, because it doesn't even have to be art. If you're a good carpenter, if you have love in that, I feel like that will show, and people that recognize your work will gravitate towards it. And I had this conversation with a couple of people, I think, and with within the last year or so. But I feel like the meaning of everything is love, because it's like you have countless artists and then people in our personal lives that we encounter, and then when they transition or whatever, you're still stuck on the moments that you love about them and things that they may have brought to the table, or a gem they may have dropped. On an artistic perspective, it could be something visual that they did. It could be a song that you heard. So, my answer is love.
Respect to that. I'm gonna pass this to you. Well deserved, right? Love is something I feel like a lot of people are scared to talk about, whether it be loving themselves,
True.
whether it be loving others. I think love is something, because it sometimes goes borderline with the cheesy romantic thing, right? It also, I think, goes borderline with like the whole fact of like not being loved or not wanting to feel vulnerable, because life is not like fucking The Sims or something. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people become guarded in life because if they get hurt once or twice from something that they would define as love, then they're prone to like be less open. So
Facts.
this now I want to get on some real shit with you, even deeper than this. Like, I know if you're saying statements like, just to a couple months ago, being 30 years old, you learn more about yourself than you've ever learned in your life before. That means that you had to come down a road of enlightenment, but most of the time enlightenment comes with struggles, or like,
very true.
How do you maintain maintain and keep sanity in those moments? How do you overcome that adversity, that darkness, those thoughts, whatever it is in that moment in time? How do you overcome that?
For me, it's just trying to stay focused on what brings you joy, whether that be being around certain people or just being more focused in whatever crafts you have. Being, I guess, introspective, maybe reevaluating certain scenarios just to see if you could have went about certain things differently. That's what usually works for me.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. I think life is a lot about perspective,
Yeah.
and how you look at things can determine how you bounce back from something and how you conquer it. You know what I'm saying? And the person you become. There's people who is like, it's like as a kid, right? This is something that used to happen to me. I played basketball better sometimes when I was around people I always played with. Like at the park that I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
The minute I get around like actual like fucking Space Jam characters, I know I'm even better than some of them, but I don't play with my most confident game. And
it's a different pressure.
You know what I'm saying? It's the validation of feeling like, yo, if I turn over the ball, these dudes is gonna clown me or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with me, I'm a reject because I'm not super tall, so I'm like,
me neither.
Yeah, I know you relate in that aspect. I'm like point guarding it. I'm Chris Paul, Steph Curry out here. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got a point to prove already. But sometimes when I was a kid, I would, play to less than my potential. You know what I'm saying? Until one motherfucking training camp. Summertime, Christ the King. Shouts to my boy Vinny. Because he was on that basketball team, and that basketball team was elite. I love you, Vinny, and you might differ. But when I seen him in basketball camp that summer, the first week, I play against Vinny and all the seniors and the coaches of the camp. They decide their teams the next day after watching all the games.
But
I'm on prime time because he's the new starting point guard there. I played with him in Madison Park in Queens all the time. I knew his game. I busted his ass that game. And everybody on the sideline was like, what the fuck, who is this kid? Because I'd never been to that camp before. Mm-hmm. And I noticed in that one moment, yo, you can't lessen yourself or put out your light because you're in fear of what people are going to think about you.
Facts.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I balled out like that, oh man, the next day, you know, like it was like I was much more confident. And you know what I thank for that? That team in that moment.
Yeah.
We was the rejects for real. Somehow, somewhere, I got banded up with all the bad apples in the camp. Like, the real rejects. Like, well, I'm like, yo, boy, this is my first year playing for this camp, but I've been on a team of organized ball before. What have y'all been doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like the movie The Replacements. I had to figure out the best way to play, and I just started going off. I felt like Russell Westbrook energy. Like, I was just like, fuck that, triple double.
It's gonna work.
I'm getting this scrub ass motherfucker to score today because he's at least like 6'3" and he's only 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? Even though he freaking plays discombobulated and he has no dribble, just stay by the basket. You know, like I'm coaching the team, all that shit. But
I got you.
I did the most with what I had, and I think, you know, that is the thing sometimes that, you know, we stray away from, like that confidence of knowing that you have the actual capacity and the potential to be great and continuing to hustle. And I always see you out here on your hustle. So with that being said, what would be the message that you spread to the rejects of the world? What would be the last thing you leave them with? A bit of advice. What would Ruggs' statement be to the rest of the rejects on how they should live their life? The one message that should be maybe the narrative of the story.
Got it. My story to everyone, or my advice would be continue to be you, regardless of everyone. Like, even your parents. Whatever you feel inside of yourself and what you believe in is what you should follow. Eventually, everyone else is going to see what you see and feel what you feel. Just stay focused, and it's all about you. It's all you. So, we focus on you.
Don't overthink this shit, man. Keep rocking out. Keep staying productive. Keep prevailing over all the odds. Thank you, Ruggs, for being on the show.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
This is Reject to Reject with yours truly, your favorite Reject Odds. Thank you, Ruggs, for coming in. That message was a message of the people right there. And to be honest with you right now, I'm way too hot to even continue this interview. We gonna... Thank you for... seriously though, thank you for coming through.
No problem.
He honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all what, he honestly came through to show me some beats. And we wanted to do a concept beat.
I still got those.
Oh!
It's a thumb drive.
Really
it's a thumb drive.
Show him the thumb drive.
Show me the thumb drive. Hold up.
Hey.
Boy, I had some shit like this for wristbands.
For real?
One South by Southwest.
Oh,
but you remember what I said earlier in this interview about this man being a great testament for what hip hop is.
Thank you.
You see this motherfucker in my hand. Cassette USB flash live right here on Reject to Reject. If I see y'all motherfuckers out here with milk crates and one of these shits, you took it from Ruggs. Alright, see you in person. Love, Reject. Hey, you see we out here, baby. LA, we made it. New York, we got away from that cold for a little bit. Came here for Grammy Week. Came here for some performances. Now we're about to run it up. About to do some networking, we about to do some studio time, some music. If you in town, link up, Reject, yeah.
What are you doing?
Chilling at the bar with the guys,
Uh-huh.
you know, the Rejects.
What are you drinking? What's that?
Little Blue Moon, start off slow.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We just landed, can't turn up right away. You gotta ease your way into the turn up.
You got jet lag?
What was that?
You have jet lag?
Hell no, I slept all 6 hours on that flight.
I actually saw that.
Sat down, completely knocked out,
Passed out.
and
Who's
had
your
an open seat.
flight buddy?
My flight buddy was some old lady that smelled like mad peppermint. Mints.
Peppermint?
I swear to God, she smelled like straight peppermint mint.
Peppermint
And I had another flight buddy, but she got moved up to another seat for some reason, so I had the window seat all to myself.
Probably
You
to
know
her
what
man.
I'm
Okay.
saying? Had the neck pillow with the lean to the left.
Uh-huh.
Heat was blowing right on my neck.
On your neck, okay.
That's a fact. First 5 minutes in, I knocked out.
That's what's
And
up.
that was it. I woke up and I was in Cali. I teleported.
From east to west, huh?
East to west.
Time traveling.
That's a fact. So we start off with this little blue moon right here. We go to the Airbnb, we roll one, we smoke one. We're gonna go to this Universal Records event tonight.
Back on a mission, I'm out to get it, one-on-one with it, this here authentic, Mitchell and Ness, depends how you pitch, face the finesse, makes for the mesh, strictly a reject, made for the pressure, when you had less, you play by the bless, when you had issue, you pray every second, hold up, wait, hey. Back on the mission, I'm out to get it, one-on-one with it, this here authentic, Mitchell and Ness, depends how you pitch, face the finesse, makes for the...
Yesterday, she was in California, no lighter, middle of the night. Had to light this shit on the stove. Had to take it back to the hood real quick. Thank God they didn't have an electric stove. Because then we would have been assed out. I would have been rubbing sticks over here.
Say don't do drugs, cause they make you weak. Yeah, abusing love, medicine don't come cheap. Send a flow, strike pose, get involved. Go ahead, pop a tab, bring it back. 99 in the vault.
Yo, let this hood nigga arts is artsy in Beverly Hills is over. You let the rejects in Beverly Hills is over. It's over. From Brooklyn to Beverly Hills, that's gonna be the next bar.
Yo, I had a moment of like a real surreal moment with myself because I'm like, yo, there's people where I'm from that literally have not even hopped on a plane. People I personally know, you know what I'm saying? People that came from struggle, made it out, but still haven't got to enjoy even the simple things of like jumping on a plane and like traveling, you know what I'm saying? And especially being in the West Coast, that's like a whole nother coast, you know what I'm saying? So it's like Mama Arts gotta see this.
You could count on me, long as I'm near the pair, off the Richter scale. Shit, I got my weight up. Let me give you the mail. How I found my way up. How I make it look easy. That shit like a layup. If my bitch is wifey, and she wear no makeup. If she want a mountain, I put her by the lake house. She just want the day.
We can take that, you know, that concept and kind of like, you know, we from New York, he from East New York, Brooklyn. You know, actually, the next song I'm gonna play, he talks about how he got shot in his face, you know, as a youngin'.
Boy, still here. Bullet shot a glass and a great windshields, but your boy still here. All said and done, kids grow up, boy, still here. Reject dreamer, audio killer, boy, still here. Boy, still here.
In the ninth inning, Lord no sleep. Bags under my eyes, it was a late night picture. It was a graveyard shift, but them late nights made me understand early on. Truly, I was destined.
The sentiment of that song is like, you know, my incident literally came from like being at the wrong place, wrong time. You know what I'm saying? I was driving in Pennsylvania at the time, in the back of a whip. We was in random alley. This dude was about to kill 2 people. He seen our car turn around, shot. The first bullet went through the window. Caught me in the face. Yeah, it was crazy, but it goes to show you that, you know, life. You know, my grandmother used to always tell me, son, as a kid, she used to always say like every decision you make alters like what the destiny is. You know what your life is going to become. Whether it be the first bus you get on or you skip the bus, you take the train. You know, so that record kind of like signifies that for me. Like on my way back home, anything could happen. I could be going to see my shorty for some pussy. I could go be talking to my mom like, yo, right after this, I'm going to go see you. And in the midst of that, different things can happen to alter your life, you know? So, you know, you got to walk with God and just keep doing what you love. And
The boy's still here, though.
You know the boy's still here, yeah.
In Beverly Hills, there's not even shit on the grass.
Yeah, word.
I haven't seen
the
one
earth
dog.
feel different. It's soft.
Oh, that's a random floss pick. And that had to be somebody we know because it's close to our car, even though it wasn't one of us.
You don't feel the soil
Somebody
feel
from
softer?
New York dropped that. Right
Yeah,
somebody from New York dropped this floss pick right here.
Like, word up, yo.
They disrespected the culture.
Tell me you miss me, Bobby and Whitney, that shit is crack. Crack, got you. Fiending for a fix, baby, you could light the match.
Donut plant.
You ever been to donut plant?
You've never been?
Yeah, donut plant fire.
For real?
And they got vegan donuts too that taste like just like regular donuts.
For real?
Yo, they got a peanut butter and jelly donut. You know, thank you for having me. Obviously, man, I like to really build with people from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? So, Courtney been rocking with us for a sec. You know, she the dog. She the
she put me on the Mixie situation.
Yeah, you played it. Thank you, man.
Put me on that
This is
situation.
actually the Mixie comic book, Mixie in Vogue on the back. You got some stickers here. You got the art sticker. You got the yurt. You got the reject joint. And you got the X-Men reject joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's fly, bro.
Appreciate it.
Y'all got a whole lot here.
Yo, thank you. Yes.
Of course.
We taking shots. Ooh,
That's a bigger.
I ain't even
You
have
can
breakfast.
Sip this one. Hey, you can sip this
I ain't even
one.
have breakfast yet.
Court, you good?
Come on, Court. If I'm doing it, you gotta do it.
Smell it from here.
Yeah, I'm.
Before
Listen,
breakfast.
yeah, come on.
Alright.
If I'm doing it and I haven't had breakfast,
Then I'm doing it.
yes, you got it.
5 o'clock somewhere, right?
I don't need
This
to
is
be.
the one, right? I feel like this is the little one, right?
Cheers,
Yeah,
cheers.
Yo,
Man, welcome.
to Ill Donuts.
To Ill
Thank
Donuts. Yo, what's up? I'm Arts, ARTZ. I'm here from New York City. I'm in beautiful city of Los Angeles, California right now. I'm on Ill Donuts Radio.
Let's talk about your music, man. What's your texture, man? What's your influence? Like, imagine being a kid. What's playing on Saturday, Sunday when Pops and Mom was cleaning up the crib?
My childhood influences came from, Bad Boy era, Biggie Smalls, Hove, Nas, Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Those were the things I connected with because my mom was heavily into it. And, it was the soundtrack to my life in a lot of ways. And I think that's what I understood at an early age when I was 17. Like, yo, this shit ain't a race. I seen a picture of Nipsey Hussle. It's really a marathon.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, you have to, take step by step until you then get everything that you deserve because you earned it.
Right.
And we're living in a day and age where people are, constantly promoting how quick things turn around via social media, things being viral, and they don't really understand the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. One of my first shows, was in South by Southwest in Texas, and I was supposed to open up for Nipsey Hussle and the Game.
Yeah.
And this was, over 10 years ago at this point, right?
Right.
And we drove all the way over there. 27 hours, bro. The promoter dropped the ball, didn't pay for the entourage for Nipsey and Game, and they didn't do the show.
Really?
Yo, bro, I swear this was one of my first moments in life where I was like, fuck, yo, we really drove 27 hours from New York City for an opportunity, and there was 30 people at the show. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to take out something negative from it. You know what I'm saying? What it made me realize more so was yo, this ain't gonna be an overnight thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a thing where there's gonna be bumps and bruises, and there's gonna be peaks and valleys, and you just gotta continue to ride the wave until you get to the point where you get what's yours, what's deserved.
Shit, I don't be understanding how people can really do music without really doing that.
Music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of those things I look at an artist maybe even a new artist that there's people doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's people doing this out there and
killing.
Your fucking 4/4 8 bar is not enough, dog.
Yeah, no.
I don't even want to talk to you.
Living in the facade. Meanwhile, these people are touring with millions of people in the crowd. So they're not
So
making.
each his own. I think.
Nah, bro, we gotta stop that. Teach his own shit. Fuck that. It's niggas out here doing that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
that's where that's the only thing that's gonna grow us as a culture, bro. Is that. That's it. And I'm not even gassing you right now because I was completely in a whole other shit. Like I couldn't even focus on what the fuck I was trying to do this video. Me going through your shit, I can't focus on it. That shit's crazy, bro.
Thank you so much.
That's my favorite joint I've heard this far.
Yeah. We got mad joints. You want to hear more joints like that?
I can listen all day.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean? I'm out here.
Cause we got
work at 10.
Yeah, we got.
When I'm in my zone, I like as you love, wait. When I'm in my pocket, I be in the club, wait. I show that that's young, that's like bubble guns, wait. She got booty shots, wait. She got bubble guns.
And that bubble bands, look like bubble gum. She just wants some raps and some bubble gum. I'ma bring it back, just like boomerang. She got sweet juice, that's that put it tank. You can count on me, as long as I'm near the pail. Off the Richter scale, shit I got my weight up. Let me give you the mail, how I found my way up. How I make it look easy, that shit like a layup. If my bitch is wifey, and she wear no makeup. If she want a mountain, I put her by the lake house. She just want the D, she ain't even hard to take out. She don't need a pick, this ain't me to take out.
Yeah, y'all fucking with me, everybody, yeah? Okay.
Hey, Lee Lamont, art right here, about to kill it all day, every day, from New York to LA. That's how we do it.
The things that program us, like our, lust and our ambition and all these little things that kind of fuck us up from being, just purebred human beings. Yeah. That's what really killing robots is killing those mechanisms that kind of make us into those and make us do things that maybe we shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of the concept of that. But I feel that.
She locked eyes on me, 25-8. She fell in love with me, 25-8. I just hustle hard, 25-8.
Easter eggs in here, like in the beginning of this movie when he was at his computer. You saw when he was at the computer, he picked up a book. I've studied this movie, so I know all this shit. He picks up a book. It's called Simulacrum and the Simuli. Yeah. And that book is by Jean Paul, like some fucking, I think it's Jean Paul Pierre. Yeah. It's like some French author or whatever, and it's about like simulation, like, and how like we're in such a thing, like, and we're in such like this matrix that the copy of is realer than what the original was, right? So the copy of something is like money, right? Money just represents like money is more important than actually what the money can get you. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like the actual real things. Yeah. So he talks about like he talks about all these philosophical concepts in this movie. In this book.
I was in a different headspace at the time. I watched the movie. I used to watch movies just for the action. You know what I'm saying? I just used to watch movies for the basic flatline stuff.
That is crazy. My homie said wake up on a verse. You woke up and you snored. But yo, your snoring was so deadly. It hypnotized Corral. Bro, that shit is too crazy. You like Jigglypuff, bro.
All that. I don't do nothing but right here.
You do that. I'll clean up. I got.
I'm gonna tell you though. No. All I do is hits. I'm in Hollywood now. So if you ask me to clean the crib, I can't do it. If you ask me to drive the whip, I can't do it. I need a chauffeur. Alright?
We've been through things, thought you lose hope and leave. You put your wants and needs to the side for me. I'm so thankful indeed that you still around, believed even through thick and thin.
Or have you guys ever, took the weed out of the clips and rolled the weed from the clips? And you all sitting there like, oh my God.
You feel like you just smoked somebody's ashes. I swear to God. You know how Hobie smoke and then he becomes him. Like that's how
big super effect.
So grateful, so grateful.